Hey, very good week to everybody. In today's episode of Growing Your Tree of Prosperity, we are still celebrating the launch of the ebook on CPF by Haven. And we're going to carry on with a number of videos, I think up to 4 videos on tips and tricks for the Central Provident Fund. And for this particular episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about the importance of the nomination of beneficiaries. Okay. And before I begin, why I'm doing all this, I'm doing this because I have an introducer arrangement with Haven. And you can download a free CPF playbook by following the link. And I'll put the link at the bottom of this video, right, in the comment section. And if you want conflict-free, independent financial advice, you can use the link below. Sign up for a consultation. Use my link. Okay, I only get a profit only if somebody signs up. Alright. So the videos that I produce are not vetted by Haven. I wouldn't allow them to do that because everything that I create, I will inject a little bit of my own opinion into the material. Okay. All right. So with that aside, CPF nomination schemes. All right. So, very important life skill about CPF, and I don't understand why they don't teach this in school. For CPF funds, you do not distribute your CPF money to your beneficiaries by including them in your will. Okay. Now, instead, if you want a person in your family to receive the money in your CPF, you have to nominate your beneficiaries, right, from the CPF website. Okay. And then the most straightforward way to get this done is use the search term nomination in the search bar for the CPF website, and you're likely to be able to find a link where you can just make sure that, you know, maybe your spouse will be given the money. All right. Okay. So why is this really important? Okay. It's important because unlike the other ways by which your wealth is going to be transferred to your loved ones, the nominee will be contacted within 10 days of the notification of the member's demise. All right. So within a very short 10 days, your loved one will be notified, you know, and they will ask you how you're going to receive your money, right? So this might be one of the quickest ways for your nominee to receive money while the lengthy probate process is still going on, right? Maybe a trusted child might become the trustee, and they have to go through and consult the lawyers, right? And if you're very wealthy, the probate process might involve the family division of the high courts, okay? And the paperwork will take quite a while, right? So I have a little bit of experience on this. The CPF money came, and then about 1.5 months later on, I managed to get control of my father's assets. And I'm already a record holder, right? Because I'm an only child, there's no squabbling among siblings, right? So in many other cases, it takes a while for the money to arrive, okay? So this nomination is very, very important, okay? So please take this seriously. If you have not made a nomination, all right, if you're very young, you might say that, well, I don't need to do this, but at least make a nomination to make sure that your parent gets the money, right? In case anything were to happen to you. Okay. All right. So what have I learned from the CPF ebook? Okay. And this is really awesome. I've learned about this thing known as the Enhanced Nomination Scheme, ENS. Okay. And what a parent or somebody can do is that instead of giving the sums to someone in the form of cash, you can designate your CPF amounts to your nominee's CPF account. So instead of giving them in the form of cash, you can say that, well, the money will go into your CPF special account up to the full retirement sum, and then you will attempt to top up the MediSave account up to the basic healthcare sum, 75,500, and then the remaining amount will be given in cash. Okay. The second option is, well, instead of moving the sums to the special account first, you move it to the MediSave account first, and then after that to the special account. All right, the remaining balance is in cash. Okay, so this is something very interesting to me, and I actually don't expect a majority of Singaporeans to be to actually voluntarily do this. Okay, but I think it's very cool that the option is available to a Singaporean to do this. All right, okay, and there's even a special needs saving scheme where you can disburse the sums to a special needs child every month. Okay, I'm not going to talk a little bit about that because that's a little bit more complicated and you might have to do your own Googling to figure out how this works. Okay, and you might have to walk into the CPF centers to consult them if you have a special needs child. Okay, now I'm just going to share a little bit about my personal opinion. All right, that's not from the ebook. And it's something that I really believe in, right? Unless there are special reasons to do otherwise, it's not kind to put money into your child's CPF instead of letting them have the cash. All right. Real money is always more flexible. You've spent a lifetime building up your CPF. Why not let your children have it in the form of cash, right? And money can be used for development purposes, for survival reasons. Okay, now that being said, right? Personal finance is personal. Um, I mean, like my kids, maybe they might turn out to be clowns as adults, and so your nominee may not have the financial savvy, the requisite conscientiousness to beat the 4% that the special account and the retirement account can offer. All right. So in such a case, okay, yeah, then you have no choice, right? Because you feel that, oh, I don't think my kid is responsible with money. Let me put it in their CPF account, and then maybe after they mellow down, they receive the money, they would be able to spend it wisely. Okay. Now, I'm always a big believer in this thing called policy risk, right? When you are dealing with your CPF money, there are people who are big fans of CPF, right? Singapore is a high trust society. People believe that the government will look after them. Things are going to work out, right? Now, I don't. I don't harbor that view because um, we are planning what decades ahead, okay? And there is always a certain amount of policy risk if you want to leave your sums with CPF. All right. Of course, Singapore can become better, but who knows, right? Maybe a freak election result one day, and we get ruled by kleptocrats. Okay, I don't see that happening right now. I'm not making any implication, but leaving money with a group like this, it's there is a lot of policy risk that you're taking up on your children's behalf. Okay. Okay, now if you are a nominee and you sort of think that maybe your parent doesn't trust you, then your best defense is to make sure that you have the full retirement sum in your special account and the basic healthcare sum in your MediSave account so that if any sums are given to you and designated for your CPF, it will bounce off CPF and you will receive everything in the form of cash. All right, so that's something you can think about, right? I'm very intrigued by this idea of ENS, and there are a lot of ideas percolating in my head. Okay, all right. Um, so my opinion, okay, and please, I don't know more than you. You know your family more than me, right? Don't try to control your children from the grave, okay? Unless you know that they're flagrantly irresponsible with their lives, okay? You've already left this world, please leave your children in peace. Let them enjoy, okay? All right. Okay, and so with that, we end our second video. If you like my content, subscribe to my channel. If you agree, you disagree with me, please comment on this video. You want to listen to my life story, Google ERM intro, you take the first link. And I hope to see you soon. In my third video, I've not determined what I'm going to talk about yet, okay, but it should be interesting. All right, thank you very much.